my case, starting in 2006, while well within normal ranges for my age, my PSA in 2006 was 1.3. In 2007, it went to 1.5. And in 2008, 1.8. And then in 2009, it made the jump to 3. But that steady trend up should have been a red flag. And that's really, I think, a lesson learned from my situation for anyone watching this. You know, if you're going to your family doctor, you know, ask the question, do you know about PSA velocity? Do you understand it? What are my numbers? And I think the other thing that's a lesson learned, I've thought about this, and after talking to a lot of the guys here, you know, family doctors are great, and, you know, we all, depending on your relationship, you rely on them, that's true. But I think, like the ladies do, I think an annual visit to your urologist for a man, you know, whether you have anything going on or not, it's probably a good idea when you get to a certain age, because the urologists know what they're feeling.
My PSA never spiked, ever.
Not even during, at the time of diagnosis, you were still 1.5?
Still 1.5.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood that.
Yeah. Since PSA didn't work for me, DREs are really important. It took the urologist about, I don't know, 2 seconds to say, ooh, whoops, bad prostate. Those were his words. And so that DRE is equally important in my book anyway.
Couldn't agree with
Well,
that.
that's the same thing that happened with my GP and the urologist. The GP set up the appointment, but that day told me the prostate seems fine.
Yeah.
And I went to the urologist, and it didn't take more than 2 seconds for this guy to say, you got a bump.
While my PSA that ultimately caught this was an accidental PSA, what that triggered was, like you, I was living in a new city at that time, went back to my old primary care physician from another town, curious if I could get my hands on all my other physicals, which I was able to get. And those, he actually ran, unbeknownst to me, PSAs all throughout my 30s. And all of those, when we went back and pulled them back together, they built a case.
Yeah.
So it emphasizes what you're saying, but it also emphasizes the importance of information sharing from when you change caregiver.
I do think we have to be our own advocates, because when I have a very good PCP who I like, he doesn't believe in PSA testing. And so if I relied on him, I would never have gotten tested. And in fact, I went from, I wasn't getting regular tests, but I was tested, I think, in 2005 at 2, and then he never tested me the following year, and I happened to be seeing a urologist for kidney cyst issues, and he said, well, let's do it, and tested me, and I was at 10. So if I would have had a PCP who followed up, and he would have been testing me every year, we may have gotten this well before I got to a locally advanced stage, and I could have been done and dusted in 90 days.
My doctor is like 2 years younger than me, I think, and he has been such an advocate for making sure you get tested, both PSA and DRE every year, and I'm thankful that from one year to the next, he said, there's something wrong, let's get you to a urologist. So it couldn't have happened any better. I was getting annuals, but it just went through the ceiling.
You can't rely on the GPs and the PCPs. That's the problem, because some are like yours, and others don't believe in it.
Aren't we talking about behavior change for men? You know, so we have, you know, cases of prostate cancer that are coming late, but these early cases. So what does it take, and, you know, what's the message out to men saying, look, you know, we have to be responsible, you know, for our own health. And these critical factors, I mean, we need to track ourselves. Now, we all track our stock portfolio, okay, pretty carefully, you know, and it's sports scores and everything like that. So how do we, you know, leveraging on, you know, what Rick said, so how do we tell guys, look, you know, it's really important. It's not so much for you, okay, because if you die, any of us dies, you're gone, but what you're leaving behind, okay, is your family, all right? So maybe the hook is, it's a responsibility thing, just like you have to have car insurance, house insurance, life insurance, okay? You know, you could kind of tag this as family insurance.
Where I work, there's a lot of young individuals who are getting this, and if you get them recognizing and doing the annual examinations, this could keep them in the production of working. It's a product, you know, whatever they do, whether they work in the stock market, on, you know, construction, whatever. When that person passes away, he or she cannot provide for his or her family.